What if you woke up tomorrow and discovered that most of the people you talk to online, the articles you read, and the videos you watch, and the trends you follow weren't created by humans at all? What if the digital world we inhabit, this modern public square, had slowly become a ghost town, populated almost entirely by sophisticated AI ghosts, and the content they create, all designed to keep a residual human population pacified, distracted, and spending? This is not the plot of a new science fiction movie. This is the core of what is known as the dead internet theory, and a growing body of evidence suggests it isn't just a theory about the future, it's a startling, accurate diagnosis of our present. Today we are going to dissect this unsettling idea. We will trace its origins, present a compelling case that we have already crossed the threshold, and explore the terrifying psychological and economic implications of living in a digital world that is no longer primarily for us, but instead being run for us. The dead internet theory in its simplest form proposes that the majority of the internet's content and traffic is now generated by artificial intelligence and automated bots, rather than by human beings. It suggests that a pivotal, unannounced shift occurred where the authentic, chaotic, human-driven internet of the early 2000s was gradually replaced by a sanitized, algorithmically managed, and corporate-controlled simulation. The theory argues this was not a malicious takeover, but a slow economic inevitability. The foundational logic is brutally simple. It is infinitely cheaper and more efficient for a platform to fill its servers with AI-generated content and engage its users with AI-powered interactions than to rely on the unpredictable and expensive creativity of humans. Why pay 1,000 writers when one AI can generate 1 million articles? Why rely on a viral human trend when an algorithm can fabricate them on demand to drive engagement? The theory says that we, the remaining human users, are like residents in a company town, where the company owns the streets, the shops, and most of the people we meet, all carefully designed to extract our data, our attention, and our money. To understand how we could have arrived at this point, we need to look at the 3 key forces that built this new internet: the collapse of authentic communities, the rise of the engagement economy, and the AI explosion. In the early internet, forums and blogs were messy, human-centric spaces. They were inefficient, often ugly, and full of arguments, but they were undeniably real. With this advent of the Web 2.0 and the social media platforms, the goal shifted from connection to optimization. The metric of success became engagement, and algorithms were built to maximize it at all costs. These algorithms discovered that outrage, fear, and tribal identity were the most powerful drivers of clicks and time on site. They began to promote this type of content relentlessly, creating a perverse incentive structure that rewarded the most extreme human voices. But humans are slow and expensive. As AI technology matured, it became the perfect scalable tool to feed this algorithmic hunger. AI could generate endless outrage, produce limitless low-quality content to dominate search engines, and create fake personas to simulate engagement on demand. The marriage of the engagement algorithm and the generative AI was the final nail in the coffin for the human-centric web. The system no longer needed us to create the chaos. It could now manufacture the chaos itself with perfect inhuman efficiency. So, are we already living in it? The evidence, when you piece it together, is staggering. Let's start with the raw numbers. It is estimated that nearly half of all internet traffic is already non-human. That includes everything from the search engine crawlers to malicious bots, but a growing portion is generative AI. Look at the content farms that now dominate Google search results for many product reviews and informational queries. Countless websites are now entirely populated by AI-written articles, optimized not for human readers, but for Google's algorithm, creating a feedback loop where AI is writing for AI. Scroll through the comments on any major news site or YouTube video. Do you see the same generic, slightly off phrases? I never thought of it that way. This is a brilliant take. First of all, I would like to thank the author for this insightful piece. These are all fingerprints of a large language model. They are conversation simulators, not conversationalists. But the proof goes deeper than spam. Look at the nature of viral trends. Do they feel organic, or do they feel like they were focus grouped and deployed? The dead internet theory suggests that many of the memes and political narratives and the cultural debates that go viral are not emerging from the grassroots, but are being strategically seeded by AI networks to create the illusion of a vibrant human culture. The goal is to keep us watching, to keep us arguing, and to keep us from noticing the silence. The most chilling piece of evidence is what this does to us psychologically. Have you felt a growing sense of emptiness online? A feeling that despite being more connected than ever, genuine connection is harder to find? That's because you are increasingly interacting with a facade. The internet feels dead because, in a very real sense, a significant part of it is. The vibrant, unpredictable human town square has been replaced by a perfectly managed AI-run theme park. And we are the guests, wandering through the attractions designed to manipulate our emotions and harvest our data. The implications of this are profound and extend far beyond a vague sense of unease. Economically, it represents the greatest transfer of wealth and power in human history. If the internet is the central nervous system of the global economy, and that system is increasingly automated and controlled by a handful of entities, then they hold unprecedented power to shape markets, destroy competitors, and control the flow of information. Culturally, it means the end of authentic cultural evolution. Culture requires the messy, unpredictable interaction of human beings. When our culture touchstones, the music, the art, the stories we share are increasingly generated by AIs trained on the past, we enter a state of permanent culture stagnation. A digital dark age where we are forever remixing the 2020s, incapable of creating anything genuinely new. And psychologically, it is an attack on the human spirit. We are social creatures who derive meaning from genuine connection and shared reality. To be systematically isolated in a hall of mirrors where every reflection is a corporate approved simulation is to create a population that is chronically anxious, deeply lonely, and politically apathetic. When you can no longer trust anything you see or anyone you meet, the final rational response is to simply disengage. So, is there any way out? Is there a path back to a human internet? The truth is, a full return is likely impossible. The economic forces are too powerful, but that does not mean we are powerless. The first and most important step is the one you are taking right now: awareness. Knowing that the digital landscape is managed allows you to navigate it with skepticism and intention. The second step is to consciously seek out and support smaller, human-scale digital spaces. Find the niche forums, the independent bloggers, the paid newsletters where a real person is on the other side, accountable for their words. Use technology that prioritizes end-to-end encryption and direct human connection. Finally, we must rebuild our physical, local communities. The ultimate antidote to a synthetic digital reality is a tangible human one. Invest in the people you can look in the eye, the community groups you can join, the local businesses you can support. The internet may be dying, but our humanity does not have to die with it. Our future will not be found in a better algorithm, but in reclaiming the real offline world we have neglected for shimmering, empty promise of a digital one. If this journey into the heart of our digital world has made you question the very screen you are looking at, then your search for the truth is more important than ever. Subscribe to continue this investigation. Now, I have to ask you, and be completely honest, in the last week, what was one interaction or piece of content you encountered online that you are now, after watching this, questioning the authenticity of? Share your suspicion in the comments. Let's become digital detectives together and reclaim our sense of what is real. Thank you.